line up with the company's mission,
Oh, that's a good point.
making sure everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, you're all kind of rowing in the same direction.
Exactly.
And I liked how the salesman.com video explained it. They said it's like having a GPS for your sales territory.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
You're not just like wandering around aimlessly.
Right. You got a plan.
Yeah.
That's such a good way to picture it.
Yeah. And then get this. Salesme.com, they pointed out that having one of these plans can actually help you get a job.
Wow, really?
I know, right?
That's cool.
So, imagine you're in a job interview and you just casually mention that you've already got a 30, 60, 90 plan mapped out for this specific role.
Oh, wow.
Bam. Mic drop.
They're going to be so impressed.
I know, right?
Like, whoa, this person is ready.
It shows you're like a strategic thinker.
Right. You're not just there for the paycheck.
Yeah, you're really going to try to make a difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about impressing people in interviews either.
Yeah.
I mean, the salesmate.com article had a crazy stat.
Yeah.
Only 60% of sales reps actually meet their quota.
Oh, wow. That's pretty low.
Yeah, it is. So, having a plan is clearly super important.
Yeah, it's like a must-have. So we've talked about why these plans are so important.
Right.
But let's talk about what's in it for you.
Yeah, for sure.
What does a sales rep actually get out of this?
So, you need clarity, you need focus, you want to feel good about what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
And a 30, 60, 90 plan actually gives you all of that.
How does it do that?
Well, sales can explain it really well. They said it keeps you from feeling overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah.
Because it gives you clear, actionable steps.
Okay.
And it helps you get up to speed faster so you can actually start making a difference sooner.
Right.
And it makes you more accountable.
So you're not just kind of drifting along.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that can be a huge motivator.
Right. Like you've got those milestones to hit.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
And it becomes this tool for communicating with your manager.
Oh, right. Because you're checking in regularly.
Exactly. You're talking about your progress. You're getting feedback.
So it's not just you proving yourself.
Right. It's about working together to achieve those goals.
Yeah.
And you know how we talked about how salesman.com said this plan makes you look better to potential employers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, salesmate.com had a warning about that.
Oh, what's that?
They said, you can't just slap together some random plan.
Yeah. It has to be legit.
Absolutely.
It has to be real.
So no smoke and mirrors.
Right. It needs to be honest.
It needs to be based on your actual strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah. You have to be honest with yourself and your manager about what you can actually achieve.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the benefits for sales reps.
Right.
What about the managers?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole other side to this.
Do they get anything out of it?
Absolutely.
I feel like they should.
So, Saleskin talked about how it helps managers delegate tasks better.
Oh, okay.
And allocate resources more strategically.
Right.
And it creates a more, results-oriented environment.
So it's like everyone knows what they're supposed to do.
Exactly. Everyone's working towards the same goal.
And then Pipedrive, they're a sales software company.
Right.
And they said that the plan helps make sure everyone is aligned with the company's objectives.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all about synergy, everyone working together for the greater good.
Exactly. Okay. So we've talked about the what and the why of these 30, 60, 90 plans.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the how.
Okay. The nitty-gritty, the 30, 60, 90 breakdown.
Exactly.
But can we make this exciting?
Absolutely.
Because, this is the part where people might start tuning out.
Yeah, let's make it fun.
All right, so first 30 days, what's the focus?
So the first 30 days, it's all about learning and getting settled in. All of your sources agreed on that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You're new, you got to figure things out.
Exactly. And Saleskin had a great tip for people just starting out.
What's that?
They said shadow the top performers.
Oh, yeah.
Learn
from the best.
Exactly. What better way to pick up the tricks of the trade?
Yeah. Okay, what about the manager? What are they doing in these first 30 days?
Saleskin suggests doing a SWOT analysis.
A SWOT analysis.
Right.
Now, what is that?
Okay, so it's basically where you figure out the team's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Okay.
So, what are we good at? Where do we need to improve? What are our chances? And what could go wrong?
So it's like taking stock of everything before you start making moves. I like that.
And once you've got that figured out, then you move into the 60-day phase.
Okay.
This is where you start actually doing things.
Putting it all into practice.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like salesmate.com give a really concrete example. Making 40 calls a day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That gets you out there talking to people, building those relationships.
Yeah.
And for managers, Pipedrive had some great advice for this phase.
What's that?
They said make one small change each month based on feedback.
Oh, so it's like constant improvement, but in small steps.
Exactly. Little tweaks can make a big difference.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to the 90-day phase, it's all about fine-tuning and making things even better.
So you're optimizing everything you've done so far.
Exactly.
Right.
SalesGun really emphasized using customer feedback during this phase.
Right.
Always looking for ways to improve how you serve your customers.
So it's like a constant feedback loop. You're always learning, always adapting.
Yeah, that's what sets the great salespeople apart from the average ones.
They're always looking to get better. Okay, so we've gone through the what, the why, and even the breakdown of the 30, 60, 90 plan.
We have.
But let's be real. There are always things that can go wrong.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What are some common mistakes people make?
Well, SalesMate.com had a really big one. They said, don't be vague.
Oh, okay.
Be specific.
Yeah, like, I want to increase sales. That's not helpful.
Exactly.
Yeah, you need to be clear about exactly what you want to achieve.
Absolutely. And they also said, don't be afraid to ask for feedback.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Talk to your manager, talk to your team. They've been there. They can help you.
It's like tapping into that collective wisdom.
Exactly. And Pipedrive added a really important point about measuring your progress.
Oh, okay.
Every goal you set should have a way to track whether you're actually achieving it.
So it's about holding yourself accountable, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about, the planning and the goals,
Yeah.
but how do you actually keep track of everything?
Yeah. Well, that's where software comes in. There are these things called CRMs.
Customer relationship management systems.
Yeah, that's it.
They can really make your life a lot easier.
And SalesMate.com and Pipedrive both offer CRMs that can help you with your 30, 60, 90 plan.
Right.
And they have all these cool features that can be super helpful, like dashboards for visualizing your progress.
Oh, yeah. Those are great.
You
can see how you're doing at a glance.
And they have tools for setting customizable goals and tracking your performance.
Right.
And even forecasting, so you can anticipate challenges and, set realistic milestones.
Exactly. And that's just scratching the surface.
I know, right?
There's so much more to explore.
This is amazing. So we've covered a ton about these 30, 60, 90-day sales plans.
We have.
And, we've talked about how they can help you land that new job, get up to speed quickly, and even hit those sales targets.
Right.
But I'm sure you've got even more to share.
Oh, of course I do.
What else have you got for us?
So what we've talked about so far is really just the beginning. What if I told you this 30, 60, 90 plan, the framework, could actually be used for way more than just sales?
Now you've got me really interested. Tell me more.
Okay, so think about it. This whole idea of, breaking down your goals,
Yeah.
making them manageable, focusing on learning, and then getting better.
Yeah.
That could work for anything, right?
So it's not just the sales thing. It's like a life hack.
Exactly. Like, let's say you want to learn a new language.
Okay.
You could use this 30, 60, 90 plan to make it less overwhelming.
I'm already intrigued. How would that work?
All right, so picture this. The first 30 days is all about immersion.
Okay.
You're learning new words, grammar, pronunciation, all the basics. You're finding resources, maybe taking a class, listening to podcasts, watching movies with subtitles.
Oh, so it's kind of like when you're starting a new sales job.
Yeah.
You're learning about the company, the products, the market. It's all about soaking up knowledge.
Exactly. Then in those next 30 days, the 60-day phase, you start actually using the language.
Okay.
Having conversations, even if they're a little rough at first.
Mm-hmm.
Writing, reading easy books, maybe even joining like an online group with other learners.
Right. So it's like those first baby steps when you're starting out as a sales rep.
Yes.
Making those early calls, maybe feeling a bit awkward, but, that's how you learn.
Absolutely. And then in the final 30 days,
Yes.
you focus on refining what you've learned.
Okay.
You figure out where you're weak, get feedback from native speakers, maybe even travel to a country where they speak that language,
Yeah.
Take it to the next level.
That reminds me of what Saleskin said about using feedback from customers.
Exactly.
It's all about always looking for ways to improve and adjust your approach.
That's the amazing thing about this framework.
Yeah.
It can be used for anything,
I like that.
and it keeps you motivated because you've got these clear targets to aim for.
Yeah. And you can celebrate those little wins along the way.
Exactly. It's like that feeling you get when you hit a sales target.
Yeah.
But you can have it in any part of your life.
You're constantly leveling up.
Exactly. And don't forget about the psychological benefits, too.
What do you mean?
Our brains love structure. They love reward.
That's true.
So by breaking a big goal down into smaller steps, it doesn't feel so overwhelming.
Right. It's like you're tricking your brain into staying motivated.
Exactly. And each time you achieve one of those smaller goals, you get more confident.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're more likely to keep going towards that bigger goal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is really cool, right?
I know, I'm kind of blown away by this.
It's so simple, but so effective.
And I love how this whole conversation came from those sales resources
You too.
because it shows that these ideas can be applied to so many different things. It's like a universal formula for success.
Exactly. It's like all knowledge is connected.
Yeah.
And when you start seeing those connections, it opens up so many new possibilities.
I love that. So we've really dug deep into these 30, 60, 90 sales plans.
Yeah,
We've talked about their benefits, and we've even seen how those ideas can be used in other parts of life.
we did.
But before we wrap up, I have a feeling you've got one of those thought-provoking questions you always like to leave our listeners with.
Oh, you know me so well.
Something to really make them think.
Yes. So we talked a lot about the importance of feedback.
Yeah.
You know how it helps refine your 30, 60, 90 plan. But what if we went even further with that? What if we actually sought out feedback, not just from our bosses or coworkers, but from, like, everyone?
Everyone.
Yeah, like the people we're trying to sell to, the people we want to learn from, even our competitors.
Wow, that's interesting. So you're saying we should get feedback from our customers, our mentors, maybe even the people we're competing against.
Exactly. Imagine the things you could learn,
Yeah.
the things you might realize you're missing.
You could uncover some blind spots
Yes.
and find new opportunities for growth. It's like challenging our assumptions and being open to new ways of doing things.
Exactly. And think about the impact that could have, not just on our sales, but on everything we do.
It's about always wanting to learn and grow.
Yes, it's a growth mindset.
I like that. This is giving me a lot to think about. I might need to go back and look at my own 30, 60, 90 plan with this new perspective.
I'm glad. Remember, it's not set in stone. It can change and adapt just like we do.
That's a good point. This has been such an insightful conversation.
It has.
I'm feeling inspired to really step up my game, and I know our listeners are eager to hear your final takeaway, so let's get to it. All right, we're back, and I'm ready for that final thought you mentioned.
You got it. So we've talked about how you can use this 30, 60, 90 plan for, crushing sales goals, learning new things like a language, or just taking on any kind of challenge.
Right.
But what if we took this even further?
Okay, how much further can we take this?
What if we started thinking about our whole lives like a bunch of these 30, 60, 90 sprints?
Whoa, okay, you're blowing my mind again.
I know, right? It's kind of a big idea.
It is a big idea, but I like it.
So we're always growing, setting new goals, facing new challenges.
Yeah, for sure.
What if we went into each new phase with that same mindset?
The learning, doing, and getting better mindset.
Exactly. Like imagine setting 90-day goals for everything that's important to you.
Everything. Like what kind of stuff?
Your health, your relationships, your finances, your creative projects, you name it.
Wow, okay.
And then break those big goals down into smaller 30-day chunks.
So it's like a roadmap for your life.
Exactly. But a roadmap that can change if you need it to.
Right, because life doesn't always go according to plan.
Exactly. But this way, you still have some structure, some direction.
It's like that inner compass guiding you.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter where you are in life, you can start doing this anytime.
So it's never too late.
Never too late. Whether you're just starting out or you've been doing this for years.
I love that. You're never too old to level up.
That's right. And you know what? Maybe by using this mindset, we'll not only hit those goals, but we might even find new passions along the way.
Oh, that would be cool. Like discovering hidden talents and stuff.
Exactly. It's all about creating a life that feels fulfilling.
Man, that is an awesome thought to end on. I feel like I can do anything.
You can. Remember, success is a journey, not a destination.
And with the right tools and the right mindset, we can achieve anything.
That's the spirit.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive.
I agree. It's been fun.
Thanks for sharing all this wisdom with us.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, we hope you've learned something new today. Something you can use in your own lives.
Yeah, keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing yourselves.
We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.